The world ended for Elias Thorne, not with a bang, but with the slam of a jailhouse door. Framed for a crime he didn't commit, he served 5 hard years. Upon release, he didn't seek revenge. He sought oblivion. He walked into the deepest, most unforgiving stretch of the Whispering Canyons and built a cabin so secluded that even the eagles had to search for it. For 5 years, he spoke more to his horse, Goliath, and his wolf dog, Shadow, than to any human. His heart was a stone, his past a sealed tomb. The winter of 1883 was a furious beast. On a night when the wind screamed like a banshee, Shadow's low growl signaled something more than a storm. Buried in a snowdrift, Elias found her, a woman, her fine traveling clothes torn, a deep gash on her temple, her skin the color of milk. She had crawled. Cursing the weakness in his own soul, he carried the frozen burden back to his cabin. For hours, he worked by firelight, stitching her wound, forcing warmth back into her limbs. She woke with a gasp, hazel eyes wide with animal terror. "Who are you?" she whispered, recoiling. "Nobody," Elias grunted. "That's the point. Who are you, and what storm brought you here?" Tears cut clean paths through the grime on her cheeks. "Anya. My brother, Jeremiah, we were taking a payroll to Silverpine. Men attacked us. They shot him for the money. Their leader, Silas Rourke, he saw me. He won't let a witness live." She clutched a small locket at her throat. "I just ran until the snow took me." Elias stared into the flames. In saving her life, he had just signed his own death warrant. The blizzard outside was nothing, the real storm had just walked into his home. Silence hung thick for a day. Finally, Elias spoke. "The snow will stop by morning. You'll take Goliath and head north. There's a trading post 3 days' ride." Anya's fear had burned down to a hard, desperate ember. "And when Rourke finds this cabin, finds me gone, he'll know someone helped me. He'll track you. He'll burn this place to the ground for the insult." She met his flinty gaze. "You're a survivor. I saw your tools, your stockpile. Help me survive. Get me to Silverpine, to my kin. Then you can return to being nobody." Her words were a trap, and she was right. He was already involved. With a curt nod, the bargain was struck. 2 days of tense preparation followed. Anya proved useful, identifying yarrow for poultices, mending a tear in his coat with surprising skill. She was a puzzle city learned, but with country hands. On the morning of departure, Shadow returned from patrol with his hackles raised. Elias found the signs: a snapped branch, a scuff under a pine. "Scouts. 2 of them," he whispered. "They're here." He looked at Anya, then at Goliath. The plan shattered and reformed in an instant. "Get on. Ride north now. I'll lead them off your scent. Meet me at the Devil's Anvil by sundown." "Elias, no." He slapped Goliath's rump, sending the horse and Anya plunging into the forest. Turning, Elias Thorne did something he hadn't done in years. He made noise. He crashed through the brush, kicking up snow, leaving a trail a blind man could follow, leading Rourke's hunters east, away from the woman. The ghost was now the bait. Elias led the 2 scouts on a miserable, circular chase through frozen creek beds before slipping away like mist. He reached the Devil's Anvil as the sun painted the snow blood orange. Anya was there, safe. Relief, a feeling so foreign it felt like pain, touched him. As they shared a meager supper of jerky, she opened her locket. Inside were tiny portraits, a smiling young man and a kind-faced woman. "My brother, Jeremiah. My mother, she said, her voice thick. This isn't just about running. It's about testifying. Making sure he's not just an entry in a ledger marked loss. Elias understood. He'd been erased, too. At dawn they were trapped. Silas Rourke himself stood on the rim of a narrow canyon, 4 rifles aimed down at them. Rourke was a sharp-faced man in an expensive coat, his eyes empty. "A trade," he called, voice oily. "The woman walks up here, you walk away. Simple." Elias stepped in front of Anya, his long rifle held ready. His silence was his answer. Then Anya stepped out from behind him. Her voice, clear and sharp, echoed off the stone. "The Pinkerton Detective Agency knows your name, Rourke. My brother sent a wire from the last post. You're a marked man." A flicker of doubt crossed Rourke's face, then vanished. "Then I've nothing to lose." He raised his hand to signal the shooters. The sound that erupted wasn't gunfire. It was a deep, groaning crack from the canyon rim itself. The weight of the men and the thaw had destabilized the ledge. With a roar of rock and snow, it collapsed. Elias grabbed Anya, and they ran as the world behind them fell apart in a cloud of white. They didn't stop running until they reached a frozen river, its ice groaning under the weight of their escape. "He's alive," Anya panted, voicing the dread they both felt. "A man like that doesn't die easy." "Then we get ready," Elias stated. By the riverbank, he selected a strong, straight ash branch and began shaping it with his knife, heating it over a tiny fire to bend it. "A bow?" Anya asked. "A rifle's loud and slow. This is quiet." "A ghost's weapon," he said, not looking up. "You said you needed to bear witness. This is how we make sure you get the chance." They worked side by side, him carving, her fitting flint arrowheads and fletching with feathers. The shared task was a silent conversation. She spoke of her family's Ohio farm, the smell of apple blossoms. He offered fragments of knowledge: which moss meant north, how to read a deer trail. Their journey was halted by 3 gaunt, desperate men, deserters, blocking the path. "Your supplies." And the woman, their leader, snarled, brandishing a rusted cavalry saber. Elias didn't speak. He simply drew the new bow. The arrow hissed past the charging man's head and thunked deep into a pine. The hum of the bowstring hung in the silent air. "Next one finds your heart," Elias said, knocking another arrow. The deserters fled into the woods. That night by a small fire, Anya looked at him. "You showed them mercy." "They were hungry, not evil," Elias said, watching the flames. "Rourke, he's a sickness. Showing mercy to a sickness only lets it spread." He was no longer just running. He was choosing a side. The lights of Silver Pine twinkled in the distant valley like fallen stars. Safety was a half-day's walk. But in the final stand of pines before the town, Silas Rourke waited. He was alone, his fine coat torn, his face a mask of cold fury. The avalanche had taken his men, but not his purpose. "There you are," Rourke spat, a revolver gleaming in his hand. "You've cost me my fortune, my men. Now I'll take what's left." Elias pushed Anya behind the broad trunk of an ancient pine. The bow was in his hands, but Rourke's pistol was already aimed. "It's over, Rourke," Anya shouted, her voice steady. "The sheriff in Silver Pine knows your name." "Then I have nothing to lose," Rourke screamed, and fired. The shot splintered bark as Elias tackled Anya into the snow. What followed was a lethal game of cat and mouse in the frozen grove. Shot after shot echoed. Elias moved like a shadow, an arrow notched but waiting for a clear shot. Rourke, driven by rage, grew reckless. Finally, as Rourke paused to reload, Elias stepped into the open. "Rourke!" he roared. Rourke spun, bringing his half-loaded pistol up. Elias's bow sang. The arrow took Rourke high in the shoulder, spinning him around. The gun fell into the snow. Elias was on him in an instant, pulling the man up. "Look at her," Elias growled, forcing Rourke to face Anya, who stood tall, her eyes blazing. "You see her, she's the witness. Your name dies with you. Hers will live." They marched Rourke, bleeding and defeated, into Silverpine. The law took him. Anya's testimony, and Elias's account, sealed his fate. On the steps of the sheriff's office, under a pale winter sun, Anya turned to Elias. The stone in his chest was gone, replaced by a fragile, thawing warmth. "The wilderness is calling you back, isn't it?" she asked softly. Elias looked at the mountains, then back at her. "The silence up there, it's different now. I think I'd like to hear some new sounds." He offered his arm, not as a guide, but as a partner. The ghost had finally come home. The wind rolled down the high ridges in long, icy waves, weaving through the pines like some wandering spirit. Calder Holt listened to it the way other men listened to sermons. Every shift, every whistle, every sudden silence told him something about the world around him, whether a storm was coming, whether wolves were stalking, or whether strangers had slipped into the valley unnoticed. Tonight, however, the wind carried something unusual. Something soft. Something human. A faint sound, almost like a muffled gasp, followed by hurried footsteps crunching through the snow. Calder stiffened. He rested one calloused hand on the stock of his long rifle. He had survived these mountains alone for 9 hard winters. Nothing alive got this close to his cabin unless it meant trouble or trouble was chasing it. He moved silently toward the sound, boots sinking into the snow without a noise, breath slow and measured. The moon hung weakly behind thin clouds, barely enough light to see more than shadows. But Calder didn't need light. The mountains had trained his senses sharp as a blade. Another sound came, this time a whispered plea. "Please, keep moving, don't you stop now." A woman's voice. Calder's jaw clenched. Women didn't wander these parts. Not unless something was terribly wrong. He lowered himself behind a fallen cedar log, peering toward the thick trees. Through the shadows he finally spotted her, a figure stumbling forward, wrapped in a torn cloak, clutching something pressed against her side. Blood. He saw the dark patches even in the dim light. She was hurt.